Yes. Please be ready. Okay, Anjan, are we all ready? Ashok ji, are we all ready? Just unmute yourself. Anjan, please unmute yourself.
Ma'am,
So,
please just start.
almost 1,000 participants have already joined the webinar. So, a very good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Full Marks Private Limited, I, Dr. Richa Sood, extend a very, very warm welcome to all the national and international participants, teachers, principals, and parents. The internationally acclaimed and leading publishing house, Full Marks Private Limited, is publishing books for K to 12 and committed to cater high quality content. Has taken up the initiative through the series of webinars to reform, redevelop, redesign, and to strengthen the teachers' capacities and competencies at the optimum. Under the able guidance of experienced eminent academicians and pedagogical leaders who are providing us the vision and academic road ahead. And today, I, Dr. Richa Sood, and Mr. Anjan Ganguly are here to present an insightful presentation for sound scripting and phonics. Welcome, Anjan.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And it's indeed a pleasure. And I thank to Ashok ji and Full Marks also for giving me a platform and to speak on this internationally acclaimed topic, that is phonics, as well as, yes, scripting.
So I would like to request Ashok ji to start the slideshow. So first of all, don't just be who you are and what you are. Move, evolve, change, grow, and become better each day. So this is the motive for everyone. We have to become better each day to teach our future leaders. Today, the topic is phonics and sound scripting. So first of all, we will play a audio. And audio, you all have to close the eyes and feel the voice. This is the motivation for everybody. And definitely a very big example for sound scripting. Ashok ji, please play the audio. Please close the eyes.
दिल में है अरमान यही कुछ कर जाए सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। अपनी हद रोशन करने से तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? मैं उस माटी का वृक्ष नहीं जिसको नदियों ने सींचा है। मैं उस माटी का वृक्ष नहीं जिसको नदियों ने सींचा है। बंजर माटी में पल कर मैंने मृत्यु से जीवन खींचा है। मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूँ। मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूँ। शीशे होगे, मिटने वाला मैं नाम नहीं। तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? इस जग में जितने जुल्म नहीं, उतने सहने की ताकत है। इस जग में जितने जुल्म नहीं, उतने सहने की ताकत है। दानों के भी शोर में रहकर सच कहने की आदत है। मैं सागर से भी गहरा हूँ। मैं सागर से भी गहरा हूँ। तुम कितने कंकड़ फेंकोगे? चुन चुन कर आगे बढ़ूंगा मैं। तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? झुक झुक कर सीधा खड़ा हुआ, अब फिर झुकने का शौक। अपने ही हाथों रचा स्वयं, तुमसे मिटने का खौफ नहीं। तुम हालातों की भट्टी में जब जब भी मुझको झोंकोगे, तब तब कर सोना बनूंगा मैं। तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे? तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे?
So this was the best example of sound scripting, but it was there in Hindi. The same we can do in English to stress on the words and intonation in the sentences. And I think everybody has felt like this was wow factor. It sounds really good.
Absolutely.
So can we have the next slide? Can we have the next slide?
So before we start, ma'am, during this registration of the webinar, and we can see that more than 1,000 people are there in the as the participants,
Yes.
and they have flooded with their numerous questions. And out of those questions, yes, we have tried to put up some questions which I would be asking you and regarding the sound scripting and all. And I hope that we will be able to cater with all their questions and will be able to fulfill their query. It will be our zest to do that. So I will be putting up the first question that actually what is sound scripting? As this is a new term for all of us, so can you please throw a light on this word that is sound scripting?
See, we all actually use the sound scripting since our birth, or we can say like when we start speaking. But the thing is, this is the terminology, a special jargon for everyone we should focus on. So here is the definition and answer. Actually, many of participants have asked the same question, what is the sound scripting? So here is the answer, and you can click also. Word stress and intonation within sentences is very important to correct English pronunciation. In Max Powell's book, Presenting in English, there are sound scripting exercises which help learners become more expressive by taking sentences, intonation, skills to the next level. These examples use a method of bolding key content. Please note down, these examples use a method of bolding key content words and capitalizing the most important words chosen for the best emotional impact. Actually, sound scripting is completely based on expressing emotional impact. So this starts off with a simple sentence paragraph that student might use to practice and ends with a more advanced selection that is typical of a presentation. Next slide, please.
So, why is sound scripting required, ma'am?
What is the sound scripting and why sound scripting is required? You have
Yes.
asked? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So answer is he or she speaks good. Often we get impressed by someone's way of speaking. Suppose anybody is speaking and we feel, wow, the way she is speaking or the way he is speaking, so impressive, so
Hmm.
impactful, and that impact lasts on your brain, your memory. So that is the sound scripting, why that sentence was so impressive, the way of talking of that person was so impressive. So
Hmm.
impressive way of conversation. First, see, as you have asked, why sound scripting required? To
Yeah.
impress others, definitely. Impressive way of conversation first enhance the personality.
Hmm.
Second, attracts and then opens the door of opportunities for excellent careers. Next slide, please.
So, is it beneficial for kids?
Yes, many have asked this question.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, it is really, really beneficial for kids. And next question is, at what time
What
we
time?
can start teaching sound scripting? And
Hmm.
that is, it starts itself when a child starts speaking, but turns up into a skill through practice. When child is able to speak, when to start? When child is able to speak the sentences, we can start teaching sound scripting. Next slide, please.
So, the next question which we received is, teaching sound scripting.
How can we teach? How can we start teaching sound scripting? And this is your part actually, Anjan, but we will take it later, definitely. Of course, the first step is phonics, how
Yeah.
to sound out words, the syllables. We
Hmm.
will be coming up to phonics and syllables after the sound scripting with Mr. Anjan Ganguly. Definitely, everybody is waiting for your show. Can we have the next slide, please? First step is phonics and how to sound out the words. Next is pronunciation.
Yeah.
We can improve the speaking efficiency and pronunciation through tongue twisters. We can give the tongue twisters to kids to speak clearly for the clear pronunciation.
Hmm.
And the best is listening good news channels. And most important is mirror practice. Give the paragraph to the students, kids, to speak in front of the mirror for the practice.
Hmm.
Record the voice, listen it
Hmm.
again, and improve. Again and again, listen and then improve. Where
Absolutely.
you haven't taken pause properly, where the pronunciation was not correct. So
Hmm.
record your voice, then listen again and improve it. And now I would request to Mr. Ashok, please play a video. And now we are trying to show the preparedness and unpreparedness of sound scripting. This video is actually funny video, but a very good example. The voice is not audible.
Yeah.
Ashok ji, please increase the volume.
And
कराची में कराची से लोग ईद मनाने अपनों में के लिए जा रहे हैं।
मनाने अपनों कराची से लोग अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए अंदरूने मुल्क जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन इस्माइल, कराची से लोग अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए अंदरूने मुल्क जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन कामिल यूसुफ के साथ चांद नवाब, इंडस न्यूज, कराची। दोबारा एक दफा दे दूं। कराची से अंदरूनी मुल्क में ईद मनाने के लिए अंदरूनी मुल्क जा रहे। अरे यार क्या करे, गाड़ी चल दी, उधर से निकल जा भाई। कराची से लोग अंदरूनी मुल्क, कराची से अंदरूनी लोग, कराची से लोग ईद मनाने अपनों में अंदरूनी मुल्क जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन कामिल यूसुफ के साथ चांद नवाब, इंडस न्यूज, कराची। एक दफा दे दूं। कराची से लोग अंदरूनी मुल्क अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन कामिल यूसुफ के साथ चांद नवाब, इंडस न्यूज, कराची। आगे ना देखो भाई, चले जाओ एक मिनट। कराची से लोग अंदरूनी मुल्क अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन कामिल यूसुफ के साथ चांद नवाब, इंडस न्यूज, कराची। यार बड़ा बेगरत आदमी, उधर से भाई, उधर से चले जाओ। कराची से अंदरूनी मुल्क लोग अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए जा रहे हैं। कराची से लोग अंदरूनी मुल्क अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए यार रोक लेना भाई, इधर से चले जाओ ना, एक मिनट गाड़ी निकल जाएगी। कराची से लोग अपनों में ईद मनाने के लिए अंदरूनी मुल्क जा रहे हैं। कैमरामैन कामिल के साथ चांद नवाब,
This is the example of unprepared sound scripting and completely unprepared of and unaware of the situation, where we
Yes.
have to go, where we have to move on. So the thing is, we need to prepare each and everything before we are going to present anything, though it's teaching, though it's any presentation, wherever we are. So I would request to Mr. Ashok, please play the next video, which is completely prepared video by Mr. Prony Roy, and you can compare. All the viewers can compare what is the difference between these two videos.
President Sir, all our friends here. A couple of days ago, I asked Radhika, the founder of NDTV, after she started it, what's kept NDTV going for 25 years? Hard work, technology, passion, money, what is it? She just said one word: trust. Your trust. And I'm here tonight on behalf of everybody at NDTV. Thank every single one of you for your trust in us. But first, a quick secret. When I was first asked to speak, I said no, not really. But guess what? I'm here. How come? Because frankly, there's one factor that's common to all journalists. We may not be the most important people in the world, but we are certainly the most self-important. So trust. When each one of us at NDTV is out in the field with dust on our face and dirt under our nails, we do it because in the end, honestly, we feel that whatever we report has your trust. When we started World This Week 25 years ago, the only program that reported on international news, the breakup of the Soviet Union of that time, coming down of the Berlin Wall, or even the first McDonald's in China, we were novices, but you trusted us. When we report on elections, on who's winning and who's losing and why, we just couldn't do it. Keeping your faith and your trust in us. In fact, if there's one thing that I feel proud about in the media, it's the role in elections and in our democracy. By bridging this gap between the voter and perhaps even changing the power. For 25 years, between 2002, we had angry voters. 70% of governments were thrown out. Good or bad, they were thrown out. The anti-incumbency phase, that phrase we know so well. But it's all changed now. Over the past 10 years, explosion. It's 50% are thrown out and 50% of governments.
So hope you all have understood difference between the prepared sound scripting and unprepared sound scripting. Am I right, Anjan?
Yeah, absolutely.
So next slide,
Absolutely.
please.
I recall my childhood days when I
Yes.
used to study, and our principal, Dr. R.D. Thakur, he also had the same way of talking and all those things.
Yes.
Yes,
So the just term is new, but everything is old. We are doing, we
absolutely.
were doing, and we have to do, but in a better way today
Hmm.
onwards. So
Absolutely.
next step is
Absolutely.
vocabulary enhancement. For impactful
Hmm.
conversation, good vocabulary is very essential.
Yeah.
Vocabulary is actually the understand. s- Just a second. Vocabulary is actually the understanding, visualizing, and imagining of the words. And vocabulary can be enhanced through sensibly articulated magazines. For vocabulary enhancement, we should read good literature, we should practice, and we should
Hmm.
read loud also to make the
Absolutely.
pronunciation clear. And next is framing of sentences. Proper knowledge of
Hmm.
grammar increases the efficiency to frame the good sentences and fluency of speaking. Definitely, all language teachers must agree with this. And
Absolutely.
next step is punctuation marks and pauses. I think everybody has noticed the pauses and the stress in Prony Roy's speech, where he
Yeah.
was giving the proper stress on the words, where he was
Hmm.
pausing the words. So that is actually the sound scripting, where you have to stress, where you have to stop. So for this we should be aware of completely the knowledge of punctuation marks. So knowledge of all 14 punctuation marks is very important. They are,
Hmm.
number one is periods, second is question mark, third is exclamation, fourth comma, fifth semicolon, sixth colons, seventh dash, eight hyphen, nine parenthesis, 10th brackets, 11th braces, 12th inverted commas, double or single, then
Hmm.
apostrophe, and then ellipsis. Where to take small pauses, where to take long pauses, or how to use or ellipsis. Where we have to use intonation in voice as per question mark or as per exclamation. So this is
Hmm.
also very important. The tone of our voice must be changed when we are explaining, when we are asking, when we are shocked or surprised. Next, please. Next is intonation or modulation. Everybody knows about modulation, radio jockeys, and intonation is the same word, intonation as per emotions,
Hmm.
feelings. Intonation as per emotions,
Feelings. Yeah.
feelings, that makes your speaking more meaningful and leaves the lasting impact on listeners. There are 27 emotions, but we cannot express all in speaking. We can express 10 emotions in speaking, and these are joy. Of course, we can express joy in our voice,
Yeah.
excitement, obviously, surprise, sadness, anger, disgust, contempt, fear, desire, awe. So, all our emotions which we can express in our voice while speaking. And next is tonality. Next, please, Ashokji. Next slide, please. Tonality. As per situation, we should change the tone of our while speaking as per situation or emotions. It should not be flat or same all the time. As per your position. Suppose you are working as a boss or you are working as a simple employee. So definitely your tone must be different. Your tone must be different when you are asking for help, or you are giving some orders, or requesting somebody, or guiding someone, or making someone understand. So all time tone must be different. It should not be same every time. So next is or as per person. While talking to the kids, definitely आप ऐसे नहीं बोलोगे कि तुम कहाँ जा रहे हो. So you will have to speak like, beta, where are you going? कहाँ जा रहे हो, baby? So
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
such, this is the tone. While talking to your colleagues, आप अपने colleague से भी ऐसे नहीं बोलोगे, hi baby, how are you? कैसे हो आप कहाँ जा रहे हो बेटा? So this is all tonality. Definitely you will speak friendly with your colleagues. While talking to
Yeah.
your boss, boss को आपने बोलोगे, boss, या sir, मैं आ गया. So I'm here. You cannot speak like this. Sir, I am present here in your office. So this
Yeah,
is the tonality. And with your seniors, of course, the way you have to speak, that is the sound scripting, and to understanding the sound scripting.
absolutely.
Next, please.
Well,
So
ma'am, we have had, you have explained a lot about the sound scripting. So there was also a question in the chat box as well as in my YouTube, that what are the career opportunities which a child can opt for if he is good at sound scripting?
yes, very important question, and everybody must know about this. Sound scripting experts can excel in many professions, like first is acting, definitely. If your sound, your dialogue delivery, you are stressing on the right words, you are taking the pauses as per the emotions, so definitely you can become a very good actor. You can go for dubbing career, news reading, teaching, language expert, language labs, voiceover for documentary, anchoring, dialogue writing, screenplay writing. And I must tell that a good sound script writer can become a very good soft skill trainer also. So next is video script writing, radio script writing for ads, plays, and films. I would now show you one video again. So I would request Ashok ji to play one more video, please.
I never thought about politics, but I just wondered whether
Please listen
I
carefully and observe the pauses and the stress on the
could,
words,
with
where
them
he's
be
giving
able to
proper
have
stretch,
enhance their
and where he's taking the
photo
pauses,
manner. And then suddenly,
the expression of voice.
Rajiv Gandhi, who was a personal friend, called me and said, so soon after the assassination of Mrs. Gandhi, to fight an election. And I did it more out of an emotional bonding with the family, rather than, I knew nothing about politics, I still don't. And I felt that perhaps this is an indication, some kind of divine indication that is giving me an opportunity to serve the people. I tried for 2 years and then felt that I was not qualified for it, so I resigned. When you talk about the corporatization of the film industry, we were pioneers in that. We were the first corporate company, and this came about because I was in New York during a show that I was doing there, and the American lawyer that was assisting us would often talk to me about many of the big studios, Warner's, 20th Century Fox, Sony, wanting an appointment with me. And I thought that this was a joke because, why would they want to meet me? I mean, how do they know me? They don't know anything about India or me, or let alone acting. But he insisted that I at least accept their invitation. So I met a lot of their executives. And I was shocked and surprised to know that all of them had an entire database on what was going on in India, what was happening in the film industry, who the prominent people were, how the finances worked, everything. And when I came back from that meeting, my lawyer said, Mr. Bachchan, I think you should go back and get your house in order because the Americans are coming. And they treated India like all their letters were titled India, the New Frontier. And I'm talking about 1992. So when I came and expressed that idea to many of the corporate world, the investment bankers, they didn't seem to understand at that point in time that the film industry, which has been virtually a very individualistic enterprise, run almost like a mama papa operation. Why would somebody want to invest money in forming a corporation?
So hope
But that's how it
everybody has
was. And
understood
when our
what
initial investors
exactly the
invested
language
in this
is.
corporation, asked us, this is not a, bricks and cement and
Can we have the
manufacturing.
next
How
slide,
do we?
Ashokji? I think this was sufficient to make the participants understand what exactly
Absolutely.
the sound tonality, sound intonation, and sound scripting, the way of speaking. See, why Amitabh Bachchan is Amitabh Bachchan?
Absolutely.
Because of
Absolutely.
his voice, the expression of voice, the tonality of his voice, and as per the situation he speaks.
And as you said, ma'am, earlier in your earlier slide, that it becomes a skill with regular practice.
Yes.
I still recall the interview of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan in which he said that he was rejected from All India Radio.
Yes, exactly. And he
And
worked on his voice afterwards.
absolutely.
And
And
now
now,
he is the king of voice and dialogue
absolutely.
delivery.
Absolutely.
So this has come through practice, through
Hmm.
reading, through the
Hmm.
hard work. So
Yeah.
hard work always pays. So the
Absolutely.
next we are coming up, we are taking some examples. Let's do some practice with examples. Paragraph
Sure.
1. I'm going to read it and then I will play an audio. You have to listen that very carefully, and then I will show you what is the sound scripting marks and how you can prepare the script. That is important. So paragraph
Sure.
is here on your screen.
Hmm.
Our school is the best in town. The teachers are friendly and very knowledgeable about English. I have studied at the school for 2 years and my English is becoming very good. I hope you will visit our school and try an English class. Maybe we can friends. So this I read. So now you have to focus. Ashokji, please show the next slide and I will play.
Our school is the best in town. The teachers are friendly and very knowledgeable about English. I've studied at the school for 2 years and my English is becoming very good. I hope you will visit our school and try an English class. Maybe we can become friends.
So this was the sound scripting, and this is the one sample which is now on your screen. So check where the words are bold, where
Yeah.
the words are capital. So
Hmm.
please take a picture of this so that whenever you are going to write anything to present anywhere, you can prepare your own sound scripts as per your
Absolutely.
guidelines. So our school is bold, is the best. Best is written capital in town. Town is also like we have to focus on our city or town. The teachers, definitely we are talking about the teachers quality. Friendly,
Hmm.
again we are talking about the teacher quality of the teacher. So in that way everything is very important, where the important words must be, you can even underline the words, you can even write the capital words, you can write the first letter capital. As per your choice you can
Hmm.
prepare your own sound script. But for this, definitely phonics and clarity of language, the command on the language is very much important.
Absolutely.
So we are coming up with the next example. Can we have the next slide please? Paragraph 2. So I would like to ask the spectators, please read this on your own. Then I will play an audio to make you understand and I will show you where to pause, where to stress, where to focus, where to capitalize the words. So please read it. I'm giving you just 1 minute. We both are now quiet. So, who is reading and completing this paragraph? Please raise your hand afterwards. Who has read the complete paragraph? Please raise your hand. When hand raising will reach up to 100, I will show you the paragraph with the markup of sound scripting. Yes, 76, 81, 89,
100 crossed.
Wow, 100 crossed.
150.
So, yes.
This,
180.
now it's about
like very
about
good.
200.
So I must compliment all the participants. You're participating very enthusiastically. Thank you for this. And now I'm playing the audio. Please listen it carefully. And Ashok ji, acha, you have already shared the screen with the paragraph.
Yeah, it's done now.
This is
In this day and age, facts, statistics, and other numbers are used to prove everything. Intuition, gut feelings, and personal preferences are all out the door. Of course, there are some who are trying to battle this trend. Recently, Malcolm Gladwell wrote Blink, a bestseller which explores the usefulness of making split-second decisions based on intuition rather than careful consideration of all the facts and figures. In his book, Gladwell argues that initial impressions or gut feelings are quite rational. However, that this split-second thinking process moves faster than what we usually associate with thinking. If you are one of these people, and there are many of us, Blink provides proof that you're actually quite a rational human being.
So hope everybody has understood
Absolutely. Yeah.
what is sound scripting. And I think I must tell you one thing, though it's English or Hindi or any other language, if we are speaking with the expression and emotions, this will be really impressive and impactful. So this was all about the sound scripting, but where to start? Now we are coming up to that most important step, that is phonics. And over to Mr. Anjan Ganguly.
Uh,
Today we have to take phonemes and syllables.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. And yes, as you just said about this sound scripting, I was recalling my music thing. You know, when I used to play my piano, there are some notes in which I have to make hard press and then some soft pedal and everything. So it is all related with one another. And as you said, that sound scripting is not only confined to English, it is also confined to Hindi and the other languages. And yes, of course, with those also which cannot speak, that is the instruments in music. And being a musician, yes, I use it very much. So thank you very much, and I welcome all my participants and viewers on board with the phonics and the phonemes. And before I start, yes, there is a question which has been repeatedly asked: phonics and phonetics. Yes, phonics is not phonetics and phonetics is not phonics. These two are different aspects. Whenever we are taking up the kids, for example, the pre-primary or the primary kids, we cannot teach a child phonetics. The phonetics plays its role when we are doing masters in English, not before that. But phonics starts from the birth, as usual. The first, so as I said, I will be covering up all the 44 phonemes without wasting much of the time. But yes, I would link it with it that the first letter of the alphabet, that is the letter A, has the sound A. And I'll relate it with the little kid when a child is very little in the nurse's arms. Whenever the child soils his pants, what does he say? Ah. He has done it. So the phonics is starting from the birth level.
Yes.
The next, many of my spectators are moms. What is that, typical sound which a mom makes before setting the child to sleep? And what does the child do? So the child is reciprocating with that sound since birth. And yes, that sound is acting as a stimuli. And that's why in Jolly Phonics, the first letter is letter S. Because this is the first sound a child is reciprocating as a stimuli. So phonics is basically the sound, and phonetics is the symbolization of the sound. How to write that sound. For example, if I am saying that the sound is A, how to write A? If we are writing the letter A, whether it is an uppercase or a lowercase, it is not A. But when I have to represent A, I have to write an A like this and E like this, which makes it A. So this is phonetics. So phonetics is a later part. The first thing is phonics. Second question, yes, before I am starting, I am just clearing that question that either we have to start with the letter sound first or with the letter name first. This I had discussed in my previous webinar, that whenever a child is looking at a cat, he's not saying that mama it's a cat. He's saying mama meow.
Exactly.
Mama meow. Whenever a child is looking at a dog, he's not saying mama it's a dog. He's saying mama boo boo.
Now.
So sound comes first, then comes the name.
Exactly.
A child, many of you are mothers, when the child is a little baby, he's not able to speak. And as soon as he hears his mother's voice, he's silent, he's calm. So sound comes first. Later comes mama or papa. So initially we have to focus on the sounds. We'll introduce the names later on.
Exactly.
So let's cover up the phonemes first. So the first letter of the alphabet is the letter A, and the sound is A. Mouth should be open. The three fingers should be between the teeth. A. All right. The next letter is letter B. After applying lipstick, B. B. Not B. Not K. As ma'am just explained in sound scripting, there should be that intonation and the modulation. It is not B, it is B. Short and crisp, B. The next letter, letter C, the sound is not K, it is not K, it is coming from the throat. Next letter is letter D, and yes, the sound is D. D. Now, while introducing the letter B to the kids with the B sound, left thumbs up, B sound. We are already introducing the sound form, not the letter form. Sound form, B, D. Next is letter E, and the sound is E. One finger gap between the teeth. E. It was A, E. The reason behind that is whenever a child is coming to the school, I am sure that out of the 1,000 participants of over here, many of the participants might be the pre-primary facilitators. So whenever a child is coming to the school, he settles down within a fortnight. He's not looking at the smart board. He's not looking here and there. Your face is the smartphone. Sorry, smart board. Your voice is the loudspeaker for him. That's why the proper mouth positioning is very important. For example, PAN and PEN. Later on, when we are giving the dictation to the child is making error in writing the spellings. If the mouth position is proper, then it is pan. PAN, it is pan. And PEN is pen. So it is pan and pen. Then the child can distinguish between the two spellings and write the correct spelling over there. So proper mouth positioning is very, very important. So after E, we are having the letter F. And yes, it is a voiceless sound. So we have to put our hands over here and do. It is very important, and I'll request all the participants to do in the same way, because I have had a question over here that what is the difference between the letter V and W? There was a question over there. So this will be made clear with this exercise. You put your hands over here and it is fan, father. All right? With this exercise, I'll explain the difference between V and W. Don't worry, everything is interlinked. So after F, we are having the letter G, and the sound this time comes from the navel. It is G. Whenever you are making the sound of the letter G, your navel goes in because the sound is coming from your navel. It is G. G. After G, we are having the letter H, and the sound is, suppose you are jumping up and down and you get tired. What's the sound? It's hat, hot, hotel. It is not her, it is again a voiceless sound. After letter H, we are having the letter I, and the sound is I. So, my dear facilitators, all of the and my spectators, whenever you are introducing the sound I to your child, the letter I, please avoid words like ice cream. All right, please avoid words like ice. Instead, you can use ink, ink pot, igloo, India, etc. After I, we are having the letter J. And yes, the sound is very easy. It is J. J. Next letter, the letter K. The letter K and C have the same sounds, and the sound is K. There might be a question. Yes, there is a question when to use the C and when to use K.
Yes.
So whenever we are having the sound K, all right, the letter C is having the sound K, and the letter C sounds like K when it is followed by the vowels A, O, and U. It is cat, it is cot, it is cut. Whenever the letter C is followed by I, E, and Y, the letter C sounds, it becomes a soft C. Now, with the vowels E, I, and the semi-vowel Y, prior to that, if we need the K, that is a hard C sound, what to do then? At that time, we use the letter K, as in king, kite, key, etc. So this is the difference when to use the letter C and when to use the letter K. After K, we are having the letter L, which is often mispronounced as L. It is not L. You have to stick your tongue up. Lotus, lion, lemon, London. Clear? After L, we sound is relaxed. Suppose my favorite food is mango and I've had 1 kg of it. Relax. Excellent. So this is the sound of letter M. After M, we are having the letter N, and the sound is It comes from the nose. Nose, neck, nail, etc. Next, yes, the letter O. The sound is ah. Ah. You need not teach the child this sound, they are expert in it. Suppose a child soils his pant in the school and the other are ready. Ah. The other kids are ready with this sound. Ah. Alright? So sound is ah. So after ah, it is letter P and the sound is it is again a voiceless sound. Only air comes out. After P, we are having the letter Q. Yes, the sound is qua. Qua. And whenever we are introducing this qua sound to the kids, we can give a story that the queen never walks without an umbrella. And if we give this note to the child, he will never forget to add U after Q. Because the queen never walks without an umbrella. So Q and U always come together. So after qua, we are having the letter R. And yes, this is a typical sound. Many of us make a mistake in pronouncing this sound. And it is very easy. All my female facilitators, they are expert in that. You know, suppose principal ma'am gives a burden of work, all right, and they are late to go home. And after going late, they have to cook a food. And after cooking food, when they are ready to relax, the doorbell rings and there are unexpected guests. Then in the kitchen, while cooking food, the growling in anger. Yes, it is. Again, the sound comes from the navel. There are some sounds which comes from the navel, and unless and until we move our navel, we are not able to pronounce it correctly. The letter R, the sound of letter R comes from the navel, so it has to be, the navel has to be pulled in. Then the sound comes out. After letter R, we are having the letter S. Sound is very simple. All the female facilitators are expert. All the mothers are expert in that. And yes, it is. While making the sound, we have to make sure that our tongue is between the teeth. It is not touching the upper jaw. It should be in the middle of the mouth. Because if the tongue touches the upper jaw, it becomes shh. So it should be in the middle. Sun, spider. The next letter is the letter T. It is not terse tomato. It is not terse tetera. It is the same sound which comes out when we relish some spicy and delicious golgappas. The sound is tiger, tomato. The next letter is letter U, and yes, the sound is A. It again comes from the navel, A. Up, under, uncle. Now comes the letter V. So, come to the F position. No vibrations were there. Same position, vibrate your vocal cords. Suppose your smartphone is in the silent mode and it's kept on the table and it's ringing. Violin, vase, violet, Venezuela. This is the difference of the sound of letter V. The next letter is letter W. The sound is W. W. And as I said, the mouth position does make a difference. I'm just elaborating it through a sentence. My puppy is ill. I have to take him to the vet tomorrow. My puppy is ill. I have to take him to the vet tomorrow. The glass of water fell on the floor. The floor is wet. Wet, wet. Wet, wet. In the first word, VET, there was a vibration in the air. And in WET, there was no vibration. So this is the difference between V and W. I think I've answered the question of that participant.
Exactly.
Anyways, moving to the next letter, the letter X. The sound is X. And my dear spectators, for your kind information, there is no word in English which starts with the letter X. No word. All the words you find in the dictionary which are starting with the letter X are not really English words. They are all foreign words. Xylophone is a Spanish word. Coming to Xerox, it's a Korean word. Coming to X-ray, X-ray is an abbreviation for xenon rays. It's a Greek word. Coming to Xmas tree, it is again not a word, it's an abbreviation for Christmas.
Exactly.
Then the question is how to teach the child about this sound. We can say A for apple, B for ball. But for this letter sound, we can teach X in box, X in 6, X in exam. Not X for xylophone, the child is confused. What to do? Because if we teach X for, it becomes a diluted thing. Because why it is diluted, I'll just elaborate after the next sound. The next sound is letter Y. The sound is Y. Yo-yo. Yak. I've seen many books having YATCH. And I've heard many facilitators, yach. It is not yach. It is a Dutch word. The pronunciation is yacht.
Exactly.
So what is my suggestion to all the facilitators? Whenever we are doing the sounds, please focus on taking phonetic words. 3-letter words, not an issue. Yak, yak, yak. Now the last letter of the alphabet, the Z. Many of us call it Z. It is not Z, it is Z. And the pronunciation is Z, Z, zebra. zip, zero, xylophone, zero, xylophone, zebra, xylophone. That's why when we are doing the doing the sound, we have to avoid words like xylophone and Xmas and X-ray over there. Instead, we can say inbox, in six, in mix. There are many words. So now we have done the 26 letters. Before we move ahead with the 44 phonemes, English is a very funny language. Very funny language. OUGH makes aw, oo. You know, sometimes it is ought, then it is thraw, THROUGH thraw. No, it is through.
But there are some rules.
Absolutely, there are rules. But when we are doing it with the little kids,
Yes.
the facilitators can get such type of questions.
Yes.
Not an issue. If the child is asking the question, that means he's experiencing that.
Yes.
And he's an expert of experiential learning. We should encourage that child instead
Exactly.
of putting him off.
Yes.
We should, we should, you know, bring that forward, that child, and say, look here, beta, yes, you are absolutely right. But we will read and learn about these rules when we grow up. Because if we give that rule to the child, suppose the child is 3 or 4, that brain is not yet developed enough to memorize that rule. The rule has to come to the child when the child is minimum 6 years old. Because even Bonvita says that after till 5 years, the mind is developing. So let the child and the mind develop first so that it is capable enough to hold the rule. Till that time, we can make the child understand through a game or through a play like this thing. Now, English is a funny language because, and yes, it is a very hard language as well. As we said earlier, ma'am is an expert in Hindi and Sanskrit. There are 44 phonemes. Yes. And in Sanskrit and Hindi, we are having 44 different, alphabet to express the sound.
See, Swar.
English is a typical language because
Swar and
we are
Vyanja.
having 26 letters but 44 sounds.
Yes.
So it is an amalgamation of the letters to bring out that sound. So in English, it is there that a same set of word have more than one sounds, and one sound can be produced by more than one letter combination,
Yes.
which are termed as spelling alternative.
Exactly.
All right. So when we move to the next thing that is known as diagraphs. Now what is diagraph? Diagraph is basically two letters or two sounds coming together to make a new sound is a diagraph.
Two letters, one sound.
When two letters come together and make two sounds, it is a blend.
Blends.
And when two sounds come together to make a new sound, it is a diagraph. For example, the first diagraph we take is double O. It is not a. We don't say B double O K as ba-a-a-ka. It is not ba-a-a-ka. It is oo. The sound is either oo or oo.
Yes.
It is having two sounds, short oo and long oo. Oo, oo.
Good, book, or door.
Book, good,
Door.
yes. Door, moon, spoon, bloom, broom. And little kids, expert, vroom, vroom, vroom. They are expert in that.
Yes.
So they're already having these sounds in their place. We have to just give the names to them. The next is CH. CH. Kh. One is k and the other is joined together, making church.
Chat.
Chocolate. Cheeks. Chin. Chimpanzee. Cherry. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then chemist.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, chemist. Chemistry.
Mr. Chopra in chemistry.
Yes. So here comes a question. Why is it that?
Because of
Coming to that, CH is having three sounds. The first sound is ch, the second sound is sh, and the third sound is k. We are having three sounds. Now, how to distinguish? All the British words, CH is ch, all the British words. Chocolate, chin, cheeks. All right? Coming to the French words, it is sh, chef, chauffeur, chandelier. Coming to the Greek words and Latin words, it is chemistry, chemist, school. These are all Greek and Latin words. So this is the difference. The CH is having three sounds. The next digraph is SH. It is sh. All the facilitators are expert in this sound. Yeah. So it is ship, sheep. Then we are having dish, shed, shock, flash, splash, bush, and so on. Next sound is TH. It is having two sounds. One is Z. The tongue is coming out. And the other is D. One is D, as if you are shivering in cold. Suppose it is 1st of January and you took a bath at 3 a.m. from the overhead tank water.
chilled water.
So it is and the other is now. Whenever the TH is flanked by two vowels, whenever TH is flanked by two vowels, that is, it is vowel, TH and vowel, it is always the. Father, Father. Mother, Mother. Feather, Feather. Feather. So this is the difference. And all the we can say the demonstrative words like this, that, these, those, it is having the sound. Else it is always f. The best example is cloth, cloth, clothes. Singular is cloth, plural is clothes. But, bath. So this is the difference.
Breathe
And
breath. Breathe and breath.
yes, breathe, breath.
Yes.
So from the next time, it is not thank you, it is thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Whenever we are doing a thumb impression in our attendance machines, does the machine say thank you?
No.
It says thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The tongue will come out. Thank you. So this is the difference between TH and TH. All right. The next is NG as ng. Ng. This sound comes from navel and nose. Ng. This coming from nose, from navel, it is coming out through the nose. Ng. King. Ming. Bring. And the next is ink. Ink. Whenever suppose you are pulling up weight, ink. Ink. As in mink, pink, ink, drink, blink, and so on. Now comes the long vowel. So, ma'am, you were having an elder sibling. You have often told us about it, and elder siblings are protective. And many times, if we know some secret of our elder sibling, then
Yes.
मम्मी को बताया ना.
Big brother rule. Are you coming up to that?
Yeah. So this is the big brother rule. The big brother rule is whenever two vowels work together, the first one do the talking and the second one remains silent. So this is the long vowel sound. As in A, it is AI. When A is speaking and I is silent. As in A, The symbol, the international symbol of the A sound is A. It is A. If it is A, rain. If we speak about plane, it is A, plane. Coming to train, it is A, train. If we speak about aim, it is A, aim. The next is E, double E, or EA. It is E, and the symbol is this E. E, as in tree. So it is E. They will question how to make phonics and interesting to the kids. While you are teaching and taking dictation, you can take this type of dictation. You just do the actions and the kids will tell out the word through blending. It can be done. Next is I. Symbol is I. As in tie. T-I-E. Tie. Pie. Yes. My. The letter Y itself is also I.
Yes.
Coming to the next, yes, it is O. O. And the action is O. Oh. Really? Oh, really?
Oh.
So it is O. And like G, O, goat. B, O, boat. R, O, D, road. The child will automatically give the answers.
Yes.
Next is you. You. And the action is you. You. Example is, we can say cute. Mew. A cat mews. You. Mew. Blue. And so on. Now, we are always having one thing. We all agree that yes, as we said, the big brother rule, the big brother is there. So in our English alphabet, there is a letter named R, and it is also known as the bossy R. Boss is always right. It's a fact.
R.
Okay. So R is also known as bossy R. So what does R says? He calls up I. Come here, my dear I. Where are you roaming around? Yes, sir. What is your sound? It is E. And what is your long sound? I. From now onwards, no E, no I. Say Yes, boss. So it becomes girl. It becomes girl. It becomes shirt.
Yes.
It becomes bird.
Yes.
It becomes skirt. It becomes circle, and so on.
Beautiful example, Anjan. Beautiful example. Really.
The next is with O. O is a bit plummy, it's like fatty O. So whenever comes here, the boss, when coming to the boss, he says, what happened? I can also say ah. I can also say oh. No issues. Boss says no oh no Why not or not ah? Many employees are there, they fight with the boss. So say, okay, we make a mutual agreement. You say or. So it becomes horse, fuck, storm, and so on. The next is R with the A. The sound is A. R says no A, no A.
Only
It should be A. Yes, boss. So it becomes car, shark, bark, dark, and so on. Next comes with double O. He says, boss says, look at my dear, I've seen you doing ooh and ooh like a cuckoo. What is this? Listen, boss, what to say? No more ooh and cuckoo. From today, ooh. Yes, boss. Poor, more, and so on. Next comes with, we are having the trigraphs. Till here we did the digraphs and the long vowel sounds. Now we are having the trigraphs. And the trigraphs are basically, we have only two trigraphs. The one is air and one is air, which is coming, and the other is ear. One is air and the other is ear. Hair, ear, year, peer, spear, near, dear, and so on. Air, hair, pair, chair, stare, and so on. So this is a trigraph. Next we are having the short vowel sound as in A, that is AW. This is A. We can use, it is having a multiple use as in awful, awesome, paw. Then we are having claw, draw, and many are there. Now there are two things which are known as the very notorious of all, and these are OI and OU. OI is a sound which is used very much, especially in our India and especially Uttar Pradesh. It is very famous. This oi. We don't even know the name oi. Come here. So it is OI as in, and the action is also, ma'am, like this. The action is oi. Oi. And these are known as diphthongs. And this, if I break the word diphthong, it is di-pathong. Di means two and pathong means sound. So we are having two sounds over here. It is oi, as in oil, foil, coin, Many words are there. Foil, coir, and the next is ow, ow,
OU.
ouch. It is OU,
OU.
as in
Out.
foul, house, foul, out,
Mouse.
mouse, spouse. Many are there. And the next is ZH, which is also known as a schwa sound, and it comes from inside. Zh, pleasure, measure, treasure, and many more are there.
Yes.
So we have done the 44 sounds, and yes, it will need practice and practice
Exactly.
and practice.
Practice.
Definitely with the mouth positions. Yes, it is very, very important. If we don't have the proper mouth position, we cannot pronounce.
Yes.
Example, simple. Match. As ma'am said about the sound scripting, Chan Nawabji. Wow. Hindi sound scripting. Ma'am, we remember when we were little kids, we didn't have television in our homes. We had the radio sets. And you know, in that the commentary match, Javagal Srinath, सीधे हाथ के मध्यम तेज गति के गेंदबाज पेविलियन छोड़ और ये पटकी हुई गेंद और बल्लेबाज चूके.
Yes, yes.
It was like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And now in English.
It was the intonation.
And now the English. Javagal Srinath, right arm over the wicket from the pavilion end. Right arm over the wicket. And it's wrapped on the pads and a huge appeal by the wicketkeeper Nan Mongan umpire David Shepard having no hesitation, raising his index finger up. And Gary Kirsten, the unfortunate man, returning back to the pavilion. So this is all. Now what did I do? I did sound scripting, and with that, proper mouth movement. If my mouth doesn't move properly, I cannot pronounce the words correctly.
Exactly.
So mouth movement and mouth positioning is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And yes, as ma'am said, phonics and sound scripting are twin brothers.
Yes.
So each and everything is related.
Walk hand in hand.
Yes. Now a little bit I will put stress on the syllabification. A little bit I'll just touch it.
Yes.
What is basically syllables? Syllables is, we can say, a part of sound scripting, that how much stress is there given in a word. If I speak only on syllables, there are 21 syllabification rules, which will require 4 hours for my spectators to understand. And yes, they will, kick my ass off because they have to prepare the food for the dinner as well.
Exactly.
Yes. So the main thing is that I will give a little bit of introduction to the syllables. It is very easy to understand, but yes, the condition is that while pronouncing the word, there should be proper mouth positioning.
Somebody is asking, I'm interrupting, somebody is asking, can we get the video and audio? It is available on YouTube also.
Yes.
Full Marks YouTube channel, you can watch. Right now also this is live, and later you can also watch.
Absolutely. So a simple step to understand how many syllables are there in a word, it is very simple. Yes, it will come through practice. First of all, we should pronounce the word correctly with proper mouth movement. And we have to hold our hand under our chin. And suppose my name is Anjan. Anjan. My chin moved twice. So the word contains 2 syllables. There is a bit of internet glitch. I'll request you all to be patient. We are trying to fix it out soon. Yes, due to there might be an internet connectivity error, no issues. So, ma'am, to understand the syllabification, we have to hold our hand under our chin, and with proper mouth movement, we have to say the word. For example, Ashok ji is here. So Ashok Mishra. In his total name, my chin moved 4 times. So the full name contains 4 syllables. Ma'am, you try how many syllables are there in your name?
Richa. Richa.
Yeah, there are 2 syllables.
2 syllables.
So this is a fact. That how to use. A basic thing before I sum up, that is the letter A. Yes, it has 3 sounds. Whenever it is a CVC, it makes the A sound. Whenever it is a word, it makes the A sound. And whenever the letter A is at the end of a word, it makes the A sound. Example, CAT, it is cat. A cat, it is a. And ma'am, your name, at the end it is Richa. A. It is A. So this is a simple rule. If there is a one more question here, that how is phonics better than the rote method? Very good question. And yes, before I take up the questions, I would love to answer this question. Yes, it is, for example, if a child is, ma'am, 5 years old. For example, a child is 5 years old. The maximum capacity of the brain to memorize is 9,200 words. A 5-year-old child can memorize maximum 9,200 words.
Yes, exactly.
And if a 5-year-old child is having a basic knowledge of only the 26 letter sounds, the child can read or write 1.5 lakh words. So I think the number is much more in comparison to 9,200.
Exactly.
For example, let's take a few words. 100. A child is getting homework to write from 1 to 100. The child is memorizing the word 100 like HUNDRAD, HUNDRAD, HUHANDRAD.
No,
He's
it's
confused.
yes.
Now, with phonics, a, d, e, d, 100. Picnic, e, e, picnic.
I must tell one thing here. Being Indians,
Yeah,
we can divide the words into Hindi also to
hmm,
make it easy. Sometimes we
absolutely.
see in very good books there are written like oo, bada
Yes,
oo we see in phonics book. So
yes,
as per the language we can put, because English is the global language, so we have to learn accordingly. But we can learn through our language also.
absolutely, ma'am. And coming to your words, I was planning to introduce it to tell this fact at the last, that the father of phonetics
Is
was an Indian.
yes. May I tell the name, sir?
Yeah, absolutely, ma'am.
Michael Madhusudan Dutt.
Absolutely. This child at the age of 5 was in love with the daughter of the principal, and he wrote a poem on the wall of the school. And I got a chance because my dad is passed out from that school itself. So he took me there, and that wall has not been painted since that time. It is framed in glass. The
Great.
cameras and the smartphones are not allowed. And one more thing, ma'am, that school or college is under the President of India.
Great. Great.
It is an autonomous body, and it is under the President of India. And the name of that school today is the Presidency College, Kolkata.
Okay. Great knowledge
And,
you have.
and the words written over there, since I was not able to carry my smartphone or camera inside, the little lines which I was able to capture through these cameras were, I love the maiden, the blue-eyed maiden who has stolen my heart away. These were the output of a 5-year-old child. And He revolutionized the novels of India and the novel writing. He revolutionized the cinema of India. He revolutionized the theater of India. In one fortnight, he used to launch 10 novels
Great.
in just 15 days. He had transcriptors and he used to narrate the different plots and they used to write them down. So Michael Madhusudan Dutt, with the help of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, gave birth to the phonics system, which we are today discussing. So it is a make in India Swadesi product.
So we can use Hindi also while
Absolutely.
making the phonics little easy for the kids,
Absolutely.
because we all speak in Hindi, and in entire India, the pan India, if we talk about, so we can use our mother tongue also, as now
Absolutely.
NEP has
Hmm.
also allowed everybody to use their mother tongue or their local language of that particular
Absolutely.
area can be used to teach the students. So shall we
Hmm.
come up the questions?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
The one important question: should phonics be particularly kept as a period in the class timetable?
Uh, in my opinion, it should not be an extra thing. It should be incorporated with the English language. Because what happens if it is an extra thing? Suppose a teacher or a facilitator is teaching A for apple and B for ball. And in the phonics period, the phonics instructor is teaching A for apple and B for ball. The child can get confused.
Yes,
So, in my opinion, this should be clubbed together in the English period itself, and it should
exactly.
be incorporated as a curriculum with the English subject.
Can we take it as an activity?
Yes, in the English class, it can be taken, but yes, at the initial level, first of all, we have to give the child the sounds, later
Okay,
on, the names.
okay,
If the both things are at the same time, the child will get confused.
okay. I'm coming to the next question, and that question is: for how many years we should continue to teach uh, phonics?
My recommendation is that the entire dictionary contains 9.5 million words, which can be broken down phonetically. So it should be till 10th, in
Till
my
10th.
opinion. Yes.
Great. Okay.
And
Okay.
it has been incorporated till 10th by Punjab government
Oh, wow. Good
and
to know.
Rajasthan government.
Great information. So, next time coming up to the question: whole world, whole word teaching method of phonic method, which is better?
This I have, I think, already answered. Yes, phonics is much better because with whole word method, a 5-year-old can memorize or read and write maximum 9,200 words. And with phonics, if the child knows the phonic sounds and the art of blending and splitting, the child can read and write 1.5 lakh words. A
Okay.
5-year-old child.
Okay.
So phonics is much effective and it is much better in terms of in comparison to the rote method.
And I think you have already answered this question. First sound should be introduced or the letter
Absolutely.
name. You have already
Sounds
answered
should
this.
be.
This
Yes.
was very important question. So I have repeated it once again. And I'm asking the last question. And the last question is how to motivate children for reading as they are lacking interest in reading.
Absolutely. The main thing is this is a very important question, and I've often heard parents as well as facilitators saying the child doesn't listen. The child
Exactly.
never listens to me.
Yes.
The child never pays attention to me. My
That
dear
happens.
students, my dear facilitators, my dear viewers, a child never listens. He just imitates what you do. Suppose I am busy with my smartphone full day, watching Facebook and watching
Exactly.
WhatsApp and watching videos, and I'm expecting my child to read the book. It's impossible. So
So
for
I think
that, what we have to do, if we take up a book and magazine and start reading, the child will automatically take out his book and start reading. To bring the change, be the change. Then only it is possible.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to take some names who have asked the questions, and we have
Yeah,
already taken incorporated in our presentation, and somehow we have
sure.
answered orally also. So Jyoti Pandey, Mrs. Lekha Karnwal, some anonymous also, like next is Jaspreet Kaur Sohal, Meenu Kumari, Shelly, Ruchi
Hmm.
Bakkar. Ruchi Bakkar is writing, the writing or the symbol is not phonics. Writing
Yes,
a sound is grapheme. Phonetics, sorry, she has written,
phonetics.
yes,
Yes.
the writing of the symbol is not phonetics. Writing a sound is grapheme.
Graphene is basically, if I can give an throw a light on it, the graphene is basically the ABCD, whatever we are writing, which is known as the grapheme phoneme association.
Okay. Next,
And whenever we are writing the dictionary thing, for example, I can show you the phonetics. I am having it ready with me. Uh, let's see, it is available with me. This,
yeah,
this is phonetics,
yes,
and this is graphene.
exactly. So I think you have got your answer also. And there are so many: Rajendra Kaur, Priya, Praveen Verma, Tanya, and Anupam. I think everybody has got their all answers, and hopefully we have reached up to your satisfaction in both the ways. So next,
Absolutely.
I think there is some information from Ashok ji we want to share before winding up for the next webinar. And one more thing I would like to share: we have already circulated the survey form for
Hmm.
nursery, KG, and prep class teachers. So please, please, please fill up those forms. That is online available, already circulated by Full Marks. So please fill up those forms and send it back so that we can come up with the new things for junior kids, for pre-primary kids. So please, please fill up those forms and send to Full Marks, as this is already circulated. So please fill up and send. It's a humble request to everybody. And next, Ashokji, please show on the screen. This is the Timbuktu series written by Dr. Sandeep Chatrat. एंड हिंदी दिवस पर हमने ठाना है लोगों में हिंदी का स्वाभिमान जगाना है. एंड ये एक सभी से अनुरोध है कि हिंदी दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में जो फुल मार्क्स ने कक्षा 6 से कक्षा 10 तक के सभी विद्यार्थियों के लिए एक सामूहिक चर्चा आयोजित की है, उसमें अपने विद्यालयों से कृपया अपने विद्यार्थियों को प्रेरित कीजिए, उत्साहित कीजिए कि इसमें भाग लें. ये इसमें एक तो भाग लेंगे, उन्हें साथ में एक सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, प्रमाण पत्र मिलेगा, और बच्चों का उत्साहवर्धन होगा, और इस लॉकडाउन पीरियड में बच्चों को कुछ नया करने के लिए मिलेगा. ये मैं कहूँगी बहुत सराहनीय प्रयास है फुल मार्क्स की तरफ से. अक्सर फुल मार्क्स बहुत नई नई चीज़ें करता रहता है, और एक नया कदम है, एक नई पहल है. तो अपने विद्यार्थियों को प्लीज़ प्रेरित कीजिएगा. आपसे अनुरोध है कि वो इसमें पार्टिसिपेट ज़रूर करें, इसमें भाग ज़रूर लें. और ये सीरीज़ है फुल मार्क्स की, जो कि क्वेश्चंस पे बेस्ड है, और इसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको नई मिलेंगी. सबसे अट्रैक्टेड पार्ट जो है इसका, अट्रैक्टिव पार्ट जो है इसका, वो है इसका रिसोर्स बॉक्स, और साथ ही में टॉकिंग पेन. और प्लीज़ फिल अप द सर्वे फॉर्म एंड शेयर विद अस with your valuable suggestions to inculcate in the coming next session books, because NEP is also out now. So there are so many suggestions which Full Marks wants to put in the new series, that is Timbuktu Early Learning Series. And so thank you, Anjan. Thank you, Ashok ji. Thank you,
Uh,
full marks.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ashok ji and full marks and ma'am. And I would also thank all the participants for having the patience. Approximately 900 plus are still live here.
Yes.
And on YouTube, there are, let me check how many of them are there in YouTube. So that we can specially thank Ashok ji
And
for
I
his
must say,
immense
wonderful participation.
and in
Wonderful participants also. Thank you so
1000
much.
were there on Zoom and 763 on YouTube.
Yes. I think
So
it's
it,
a great
so
for
I would
full marks to
I,
full marks.
absolutely, and I would thank all of them, and a special thanks to you, Richa ma'am, for inspiring me to come up with thing, because I was very shy of on speaking and everything. You inspired me a lot to come up on screen and speak for such a long time. It's all your inspiration and support.
Thank you
So
so very
thanks a
much.
lot.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot, Ashok ji, for your continuously poking. And
Mr.
yes,
Rajat
thanks.
Thank you,
Gupta,
Anjan
Mr.
sir. Thank you, Richa
Rakesh
ma'am.
Gupta,
And
and
thanks to
also
Rajat sir also
Thank you
for
so
giving
much,
us this
Richa ma'am, and
opportunity.
thank you so much, Anjan sir.
Most
thank you,
welcome,
Ashok
sir.
ji.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Ashok
Thank
all
ji.
you so
support
much, all
and
of you.
providing us such a
Thank you, sir.
beautiful
Thank you.
platform. सी हमारी कोशिश ये है, और मैं ये कहती भी हूँ अक्सर अपने टीचर्स से भी और सभी को, कि हमें अपग्रेड होते रहना चाहिए. हम सीखते रहेंगे तो अच्छा सिखा पाएंगे.
Absolutely.
So इन शब्दों के साथ, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.